We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Hello. Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy, James.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Filipino.
And I'm Puerto Rican.
And welcome to this episode of Conversations from Above. Yo, check out where we're at.
This is an old historic library
Yeah,
in this town up on top of a mountain.
called Swanee.
Yeah.
So we thought about this idea about what we want our podcast to be, how we want our podcast to be different from other podcasts, is that we want to do it in different locations.
Yeah, just every time, just dope, cool looking locations, just record a podcast.
Exactly. And yeah, so I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We tried. This wasn't our first location. We tried going to this place called the Natural Bridge, which you guys will see hopefully sometime soon. But we tried going over there, and there were just so many people.
Yeah.
So many. Like, it was like 7 cars.
Yeah.
And they had families.
They had their kids there and everything. So.
Yeah. But I promise you guys that you guys are gonna see that Natural Bridge. And this is actually it was the old library, but now it's their apartments.
An apartment complex, yeah, so probably gonna blur out the name just cause for privacy reasons.
Yeah, it's just like y'all, just in case when we blow up, you guys aren't just like raiding this place,
Yeah.
just disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's on like this edge of this cliff, and it's right behind it. The backyard is literally like a view
of the whole city.
And it's pretty nice. It's super dope.
Yeah.
But with stuff like this, what makes it super hard is that there are tourist attractions.
Yeah, they do have some,
Yeah, but
especially for a small town.
Yeah,
It's somewhere that people go to often.
but it's been raining here for the past like good week.
Yeah.
And it's just like the only place you could really record is indoor.
Yeah, so it's good that today was like nice weather.
It's perfect weather.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I'm double hooded because
Yeah.
I thought it was cold. I'm actually kind of hot,
but
it's
nice to film outside,
it really is. But it's also nice to do something different.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we came up with this idea.
But let's get a topic going, bro. But because I've been wanting to talk about Interstellar.
Okay, so we watched this movie Interstellar last night. It was my first time watching it. I knew it was good, and honestly, it was really good.
It was such a good
It's
movie.
probably in my top 10.
Yeah, it's up there for me. It's up there. Cause
First of all, it's space. Who doesn't like movies about space?
Yeah.
Especially if it's good.
and I think they filmed it. I think they did great when where they were in the wormhole and everything. The
Mhm.
filming in that.
It was trippy. It was
CGI they used for that. It was great.
It was a whole acid trip.
Yeah.
Don't watch it if you got like epilepsy.
Yeah. No.
Just like anything. You should really warn people. It's a lot of flashing.
But it's like a 3-hour movie, but it has a lot of stuff goes on.
It really is. They did a really good job explaining like the whole.
Yeah,
situation.
and one of the things I want to spoiler alert. So we'll let you know
watch the movie first before you click on this. Before you click on
just pause it right now. I'll put a little thing on the bottom saying how long we're gonna talk about this first part for. But so at the end when he plays with when he plays with his universe, he kind of pushes over the books and stuff, and it's talking to his daughter. But he's in a space-time continuum. So I had the thought of what if that's just how everything works in life, right? Rather than a casino, you go to a space-time continuum wormhole, or black hole.
Yeah.
And people just mess with time, they just get to choose what they want with that timeline. Imagine if someone paid hey, I'll pay this amount to be able to play for this timeline and stuff. It's just people messing because we don't, we are contained to this planet. What if there are people that are so advanced that they're just out here in space, paying to go inside a space-time continuum to just mess with timelines.
So you're saying that instead of one timeline, there's multiple timelines, and you're able to pay just to go into your own timeline?
To any timeline, just mess around with it. What if in arcade,
Ooh.
It was just, but for you gotta think for different species that could just be normal. They just go to the arcade, they just pay to go inside a space continuum and mess with timelines.
Basically, be a god of your own timeline.
Yeah. What if there's a species that can do that though?
Just automatically, just
just go in there to do it. Yeah. Just what if ghosts ain't real? It's just people messing with your timeline, bro. Messing with you, you would get a laugh out of that. Imagine that, dude. Messing with people, making them think they're going to see their reaction. Yeah. Imagine you controlling that and seeing people freak out. That'd be pretty funny. I'd pay for that. To be able to do that. Like, being able to know that I'm, like, straight up.
But you won't be able to come back, would you?
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, what if they can? What if they can go in now?
But
they just found a way
like,
to
go
do
back
it.
to... Okay, could they go back in time to the
No,
original?
they just go into the space-time continuum, and they just play with time.
And then when
play with different timelines. And when whatever they're done playing, like, maybe just play, they pay for 30 minutes at the space-time continuum. After 30 minutes, they have to leave and pay again to get back in. You pay for a certain amount of time to...
I know, but, like, when they come back, is that the timeline that they, like, mess around? Is that the timeline they
let's
come back to?
say someone in, like, a different... It's in a space-time continuum right now. They're messing with our timeline, right?
Uh-huh.
And let's say, like, freaking whenever, like, something... A coincidence or something happens or something crazy happens. It's just people messing with, like, oh, your freaking tire went flat and you flipped. That's because some dude, like, popped your tire by, like, messing with the time, by being space-time continuum, messing with the timeline. So, and just watched you, and they just paid for it. They just paid to do that.
Also, that kind of reminds me of, what is it, astral projection? For you guys who don't know what astral projection is, it's whenever your soul,
it's when your soul leaves your body
and you're able to just, like...
Go into different astral realms.
Yeah, and basically that realm is basically the timeline, I want to say.
Yeah, it's just, like, different...
And you kind of mess with people the same way. You knock books off the shelf.
Exactly.
Like, would it be basically like that, though?
Yeah, it kind of like that, but, like, you just go in here and you can just mess with, like, infinite amount of timelines, you know? So you're seeing their lives change while you're messing with them.
With that being a timeline, so you... Because with astral projection, I don't think you could go forward or back in time, could you? Or you have to be in that present time or day, right?
Well, no, you'd be in a space to where there's this time just passing, like, next to you, you know, going all through you. And, like, if you, like, try, like, you know, you can mess with it, but you can't go into it, you know. You can mess with time.
Yeah.
Because time, you know, time really isn't, like, not really real, kind of, think about it. Because, like...
I don't know, you can't stop time, though.
Huh?
I mean, or could you? No, you couldn't, right?
Time because, like, you can bend time, you know.
But it would never...
It's like we think of it as a, you know, how we measure.
The thing is, we know time is a dimension. We know that for a fact. Like, time is a dimension.
Yeah, and it can be, like, bent. It can be moved, you know. It's like, that's why, like, in a space, like a space continuum, like, that's why there's just, that little hole brings you to the, like, dimension to where time is just lines, you know, just bars and...
Okay, do you see? So
I think some people have figured out how to get in there and just be able to just, like...
through a wormhole?
Yeah, and you gotta think, like, to us humans, we would see this as, like, a sin, maybe, right? To be able to mess with time and just, like, kill people off if you want to. But, like, when you have the power to go in here and it's, like, infinite timelines, is it really a sin? Is it, like, to them, like, to that species, is it really to them a sin? Because it's endless. It's gonna, every time you go in, there's gonna be new timelines you can mess with. It's gonna be endless forever. So is it really a sin to maybe, like, flip a car and accidentally kill someone?
Well, I feel like
they're just having fun.
Say if that happens in our universe. Say we find it, we gather the technology to go into space and then have time however we want, right? I think the controversy would be about like the creator, about religion, about, like, you're messing with, you know.
Man, when we get to that time, I don't think we're gonna have the same thoughts we have.
You don't think, with religion?
If we find, like, space-time continuum when we realize how, like, we can change people's lives.
Yeah, because basically
Christianity ain't gonna mean nothing.
Because if you're able to go into time and change however things happen, I feel like you'd be basically a god. Like,
because
you could outplay everybody. Anything.
Yeah, but, like, if everyone can do it, it's just
exactly.
But, like, I feel like it's very rare. Like, it's very rare to be able to, like, do that. You know.
Yeah.
Only some people. And
I mean, there's still gonna be. I feel like there's still gonna be heaven and hell. Like, you know, how people would believe.
But the way I would see it is just like religions are based off faith, and if you see a whole space-time continuum, like, room to where you can straight up just go in there and mess with people's lives, like, I don't really know if, like, religion would, like, you can really believe in religion, you know. Yeah. If you straight up seeing, like, how planets could be made and how, like, everything works, like, it's straight up, like, you can go in there and change. So, like, can you really be religious after that? Because, you know, you have proof now of, like, what, like, life, how everything in life started and how everything lives and exists.
Like, with the faith thing, but I feel like religion's still gonna be there because people. Like,
but I just don't think it's gonna be as big for people who discover that.
And you say that, like, if you could pay and stuff like that to pay to go.
Yeah, just to mess around with some timelines.
Let's see if I think like as a business like publicly for open for everybody or like an underground.
Yeah, but like think about it. If that's like 5 quadrillion billion zillion like light years away from us, like that type of technology. We're never gonna get. What if we can never get there? But it's just like it's still there to that part of the universe. It's there. Okay, it's public to like maybe like thousands and millions of galaxies around it, but we're so far away that to us.
Because like I was thinking of, like if it's like if you're paying money and it's open publicly, there's gonna have to be regulations. Like because like you can't just be.
Of course.
You can't just be going in there busting out secrets and like.
But you're thinking of like the human species. Like if it's a different species, they might not have the brains as us, and they might not think the exact.
But what if it was us though?
Huh?
What if it was us? Like if we found
like currently at this moment, I don't think we'd like instantly make it into like a.
No, I know, but just like say if it like they hid this for years, like tomorrow, like they're like it's open to the public to do like there has to be laws.
Dang, bro, but like that's it. But see, like if I were to look, I try to look at everything realistically. Like by the time if we found that, to be able to have like technology to get us there and back, you know, just like chill and like mess with time.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you have to, by that time, like our mindsets are gonna change, and we're gonna think everything's like a lot different than.
So you don't think religion's always gonna? You think there's gonna be an end to religion? If technology gets to that point,
think so. No,
you don't think so.
I think it's always gonna be there, but.
Someone's talking on his phone. Sorry.
They may be talking to us, so we don't know.
Yeah, but also in the movie, they Interstellar movie, they also bring up where they were gonna rebuild humanity and another planet.
Yeah. So
do you think that like if we came to that point, you don't think it'll be an hour? Like I know for a fact it's not gonna be an hour timeline. You know, like to have that kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe like in our timeline we might get there. Like in like I said, like in those many light years, we might get there. Life is endless. So one day we might get there, but it's just like for a long time we're not.
But that is.
And by that time we get there, our mindsets are gonna be.
That honestly, would that be kind of fucked up to just like if you have like like eggs, like they have like artificial like human eggs and like whenever you launch into this planet. Do you think that's kind of fucked up? So like imagine if we do that.
Well,
if we
that's
launch
the whole genetics thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because like now they're messing with genetics, and you can make humans with like certain traits, you know. Like if you want to do them with like blonde hair, if you want to make them smart, if you want to make them good at sports, you can do that now. So like in that movie Interstellar, by that time it was like their last choice, you know. Like it wasn't an open to the public type of deal.
Yeah. And
it wasn't open to the public type of deal. It was just like humans are about to die, so we need to. So like they could do that now. But if you think about it, they probably could.
Would it be messed up to just like send humans to just different planets?
No, because if they're making humans that are exactly like us, if they're genetically modifying them to be exactly like us, and we send a human to like show them like how to be human, you know, then I think it'd be okay.
Because they also still brought the fact that they have to train these humans to be like human.
Yeah, exactly. So like.
Because you can't just put them out.
If you have 100 humans and you'd be taking care of all 100 of them.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the responsibility you have. You have the responsibility to, like, for the rest of humanity. Because they're still going to be human. They're still going to have our same brains. They're still going to, you know. But it's just.
I mean, dude, honestly, for just scientific reasons, could you think they could just, like, launch, you know, like a capsule filled with, like, artificial, you know, human eggs, right? And when it lands there, you watch these humans adapt to certain environments. You know, like see if they can adapt to that environment.
It'd be cool if you could send like these eggs and just like send them to like different planet, but like have them have the information to like, you know, and like make them like smart to where they can build something to like notify us that they found like another planet or something.
The only
you send them all out, let them land somewhere one day, let them grow, and then
the one thing that I didn't really I want to say dislike. I like the whole movie. There's one thing. The one question that really kind of just bothered me about the movie was like, how did their because okay in the movie, spoiler alert, sorry guys, in the movie, they their planet Earth was just getting swarmed by the sandstorm, and it was just eating up like different cars. Yeah, like how did that come to point? Like
the way I would see it, right, is like if you look at it kind of like nowadays, right? If it were to be nowadays, the way I would see it happening is polar ice caps melting, right? Are like half of the planet being like half of what is on land now, maybe a little bit. I don't know like the specifics, but it'd be underwater.
Like half
since
the
all the
planet.
Yeah, since all the polar ice caps are like melting, it'd be a bunch of land being underwater now. Our planet's gonna be so hot still. A lot of things are gonna start dying, and it's gonna be a lot of sand. That's exactly what it's like. Grass is gonna be dying, trees are gonna be dying. It's gonna be sand, and our planet's the rest of whatever's left is gonna be inhabitable. It's going to turn exactly like that.
And what's scary about that situation is that it can really happen.
And exactly. That's the thing, because with how our planet is going, it could end like that in a couple 100 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not even. Maybe soon. And I thought it was super funny how they brought up the point. It's like, not too long ago, we were making new gadgets every day that we never thought we'd have, right? Like, they were living like we are right now. That's exactly how we are. We're inventing gadgets. We have foldable phones now. We have Tesla trucks. Like, we getting new technology every day, but, like, same thing happened to them. The planet is just, like, if we don't take care of our planet, like, our planet's gonna screw us up. Like, we may, like, advancing technology is good to get us out of here, but it's just because, like, at the end of the day, it's like that volcano in Yellowstone. If it erupts, technology ain't gonna save us. It's gonna blow up and we're all dead in a couple hours.
Yeah, so that is kind of how technology is going.
So, like, we gotta the only difference that would make us from interstellars, we hope we advance fast enough so we can get out of here before that happens.
So you thinking...
It's just a race now, bro.
You're thinking that we're furthering technology to not save this planet, but to, like, save ourselves, like, get out of the planet and save ourselves?
Right now, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are, like, they're some of the richest people in the world, and they're putting billions into space exploration, and they're smart. That's exactly what they need to do. Because they're not being greedy with their money. They're trying to save our planet by, space exploration. Because we need to know what's out there, because we can't be here for much longer.
But there are also people who are just like, we need to, like, explore this planet, like the ocean, before we go into space. But really,
if they can build them, like, they're building machines that, like, are, like, super easy to get into space with, and they're super, like, small and compact. So, like, if they can build, like, machines that are just, you can just navigate through, like, space for a long time, Like, imagine, like a Millennium Falcon. Like, imagine if that becomes, like, a type of real vehicle we can somewhat make in the, like, 50 years or something like that.
In the movie, they also brought up how, like, gravity plays a lot in the time, in the time continuum, like, how it bends time. Like, how does that work?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that much, because gravity is pretty confusing, and it's not a topic I know too much about. Because it's so confusing, and I try not to study much about it.
Why?
Because it's just like, I'd have to, like, read, like, I'd have to read a lot of, like, formulas, and just, it's, when you talk about space, since it's so confusing, and, like, how you can bend it, and it's just so complex, it's just, like, hard to understand. Like, when I read, like, theories about, like, Hegel, like, I've been reading this book for a long time, so I gotta read a page, like, 2-3 times. And write notes about it to, like, fully understand what this man is talking about. Because it's, like, it's confusing stuff, so.
Yeah. But I think they did a pretty good well explaining it. I just can't really remember how they kind of did it. That was just too much for my brain comprehend. I was just mind blown. About how, like, gravity was, like, the key to, like, time.
Yeah, because it was, okay, so, like, the way in... the way in the movie they played is just the gravitational pull, like, perfectly, like, aligned it to where the sand fell. Perfect spots, like because they had, like, these magnet, like, the planet was doing these weird, like, magnet poles in certain spots of the world, and it was just like, the magnetic pole is a lot stronger than normal, so, like, it was weird because, like, in these thin and, like, thick lines, like, gravity was perfectly pulling in one spot. Like, imagine, like, one spot on the planet right here that's super small compared to, like, because normally it would do, like, maybe, like, a whole city, like, the magnet pole would be strong in the whole city, but it did it in this one spot and made these perfect lines,
But the lines were a message.
Exactly, which
from
is
him.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys gotta go watch it. You guys literally have to go watch it. It's really good.
Time, gravity,
I might have to rewatch it a second time.
But yeah, what I want to do is, like, study up a little bit on the facts of, like, how gravity works for him, and, like, how time works, and then watch it again, so I can get a little bit more understanding if they did it, like, right or wrong.
Or just watch any of what Neil deGrasse
Tyson. He talks about it a lot, but I've watched any of his.
Is he a professor? Like, does he study?
No, yeah, he's been like super like famous. Think of it like an Einstein.
Oh, is he?
He's kind of been like just. He's really smart in those type of topics. I don't think he's created a theory like Einstein was, that because that's.
But
like,
he's studied. He's a still.
Yeah.
He
pretty much just talks about God related to the
Big
Bang.
How man.
Yeah, how man started. Anything like that.
Okay, so he's a man of science.
Yeah, he's super smart. He does not believe in God. If he said that if he saw God, he would believe in it, but he doesn't because there's so much proof against it. But like, no, yeah, he's a super smart dude. I do need to watch some of the stuff that I've tried to stay away from what he said about Interstellar for that reason. Because I want to read up on it on myself.
I know he has a podcast with Joe.
Yeah,
and I like watching people who have a good
like they have
good knowledge of that field, and it's like it's accurate, it's believable.
Yeah, I always
makes sense if you watch or listen to it.
He always has his ad, and it's like you got to be like smart enough to know when to know that you're right, but like smart enough to know when you're wrong.
Yeah, it's just like,
and it's always good because you always want to know like when you start doubting yourself, don't start being like don't always like fight for just to be like cocky. Like be like okay, then like explain to me how your side makes more sense than mine. Because sometimes it will, and you're like oh crap, I was wrong. And it's always good to
be open
because you always want to be open minded. Yeah. That's how you take in more knowledge.
Yeah, I also thought about that I actually loved and I never really thought would be like super healthy for you. Freaking documentaries. Yeah. Say you don't even like books. Like I don't like reading books, but I enjoy documentaries.
Yeah.
And you get as much knowledge as watching or hearing about documentaries.
I'm more of the opposite. I like reading more. Documentaries are they're a little bit boring to me sometimes. Sometimes they're okay.
But they're both good fields. Like
documentaries are super fun to watch. Sometimes they can't be.
But I used to be like when I was younger. I would just like one of my favorite channels were like Discovery Channel.
Yeah, Discovery and
History, freaking Animal Planet.
Yeah, just animals was really big for me when I was little.
Yeah, for sure.
Animals was something like huge because I remember like the Discovery Channel, they had this snake show.
Yeah. And
they like sent out like magazines, right? And every the Discovery did, and for that channel, it brought these little cards, and you can collect them. And me and my brothers used to collect because we each got our own, so we collected these snake cards. It was super dope, super dope. But no, yeah.
I just and the History Channel, like I love auction shows.
Oh, dude, I was watching American Pickers.
Yeah, it's just because I like hearing of different how companies and different things started.
Yeah. Just pretty much anything historic is always it's so fascinating.
I wish I could one of my actually I will. I'm gonna get a historical degree sometime in my life.
Yeah.
Because say I stop making podcasts or if I get too old, I would love to be a professor and teach history at a university.
Yeah, not be like some professors we know.
Yeah.
But no, sure.
But I want because history is fun.
It's super interesting.
Super interesting.
I wouldn't want to do American history. Not gonna lie, sorry America, but I've grown I've grown up learning about it my whole life, so I'd want to learn a different history.
World history.
I'd want to do some just Japanese history. Some other Chinese culture.
Cultural history.
Yeah, culture history. That's more interesting to me. Just a lifestyle.
Yeah. But studying animals would be cool too.
Yeah.
I like how animals evolved, so how they got, and they're gonna keep evolving. That's what's crazy about animals. I feel like animals and insects, because we don't run into these. We don't.
Yeah, we don't. It's not something we see every day, but it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's you have maybe 100 different species of a caterpillar, all in the rainforest, and they're all just living there. But we don't.
Yeah, because there's people who are just oh, that's a caterpillar, but then there's people who are dude, that's just not any caterpillar. This thing is super rare, that would be interesting because people just see an animal, and just be oh, it's this and that, but then there's more to that. It's that's not.
And I like understanding, that animal's lifestyle, because I have environmental science. I don't know. I've been taking geology and environmental science.
But I feel because you have to.
No, but yeah, because I have to. But I'm enjoying it. Cause I enjoy learning, because it's always interesting seeing how everything in life works.
Yeah, for sure.
It's I really do love understanding every aspect.
Yeah, because there's so many. There's this planet is huge. This planet is huge. There's we don't even know half of on the other side of this planet, or half of even what's even like states next to us, we don't even know knowledge about, like different species. You know, the weather type, or you know, why certain plants grow in this certain area, and stuff like that.
There's this in the book we have for environmental science. There's this little picture that I still think is super interesting. It's like a tree, and it has a little hole, right? And right there was filled with water, and it had like a little picture of like all the little organisms that like lived in it, and like different insects. I was like, that's a pretty cool, you know, that in a tree, in this little tiny hole, the whole different environment, you know, just all chilling there. Like, you got, like, a bunch of different bacteria all living together, a bunch of these insects, a bunch of these, like, plasma bacteria and all this. It's super cool, you know? Just knowing that that's there, that's a little environment on its own, just right next to you.
And what probably interested me the most, but also brings great fear to me, is marine biology. The ocean is scary, dude.
I was born on an island, but I don't be messing with the deep ocean. Like... Ooh, yeah.
Imagine, because like there's people out there who are just like, dude, you know, I'm gonna ride this helicopter, I'm gonna dive right in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, nah,
with some goggles and some like.
Bear Grylls just be wilding. And it's like, helicopter drop me off 2 miles off the shore. You're just like, oh, okay, Bear Grylls, what you finna do? He's like, all right, so what I'm thinking before I jump, I'm gonna grab a hold of a shark and I'm gonna ride him all the way down. I'm just like, oh, okay, Bear Grylls, chill. Dude, Bear Grylls. Like, he wildin', bro. He really do.
I love his movie.
He's like, I have nowhere else to go. This cliff, I have to jump into.
Dude, actually, you know, he was like rewarded, like in the Boy Scouts.
No, hold on. You know, actually, no. Say what you're gonna say.
And like, so like he was like part of some like Boy Scouts or something like that, like nature. You know, and he got the award for being the youngest, like highest ranked, like. Master Boy Scout, something like that.
So that is true, but also this dude got caught. Like some dudes that used to work with him leaked a video of them like just eating just like lobster just behind camera.
Yeah.
So like a lot of them is like filmed. Like a lot of it's like scripted.
But the thing is,
super upsetting. But yeah, he did get those awards, so he does know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
It's just he makes a lot of things look more dramatic. But it is Bear Grylls, bro. Just looking like.
There's also. You can also say the fact with like how pranks used to go on YouTube, how they used to be genuine.
I guess people still did like them, and I guess Bear Grylls isn't like super big now anymore.
And it wasn't also just the fact that like it's like I ignore the fact that they do that.
Yeah.
Because like there was an episode where they did like behind the scenes too, where he was like, I couldn't find anything to eat today, but he always brings up a bag of like Twinkie. He legit has a bag of Twinkie, and that's legit. Like he's doing.
Yeah, but man, he was just straight eating like eating good, bro. This looked like a good snack, like 5-star meal out in the woods. Like he comes prepared.
It's like
he's like, oh yeah, drop me off on this mountain, but don't forget my 12 weeks worth of
like, I'm jumping off this helicopter to land in the middle of this cruise ship.
Yes,
and it's just like one big
good, yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna jump off this helicopter in the middle of this ocean in the Bahamas.
Freaking in a buffet or something. He's like, I see a wild big man covering the steaks. How will I penetrate this situation and grab me one of them good looking steaks?
Or where he's just like, you know how he always finds like a getaway ride to like bring him to like civilization?
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, there's our chance. My family members are right there waiting for me for dinner.
And this Lamborghini. Hope they can take me home. Like,
dude, but that's what. But what makes him super legit though? But he's still accurate. Like he still gives you knowledge.
Yeah, he does. So like everything he does tell you is still correct.
It's still facts. Like like avoid.
Like he don't be lying. Like if like pissing on like wounds
and then drinking it and like
stuff like that.
Drinking his piss.
As gross as it is.
But honestly, till this day, like I know some survival facts from him.
Yeah.
You know, like boiling salt water, collecting saran, like collecting the steam.
If I ever don't want to like get up to just like grab a cup of water, put it in my mouth.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, you gotta do.
You do what you gotta do.
He taught me.
Honestly.
You know, whenever a deer walks by, like poops and like leaves berries in there.
What do you think?
I don't waste those, bro.
What do you think the hardest like environment is to survive?
Oh, maybe.
I want to say
the ocean.
The ocean.
Yeah.
I want to say the desert.
No, I think the ocean's scarier than the desert, bro. Is it?
No, I said survival. Like what's the hardest to survive?
Like just like straight up desert,
Like
nothing else.
Yeah,
you
like
could walk for, like,
the Sahara Desert,
5
no
weeks.
maps, nothing. Like,
But like, could you like by chance stumble upon civilization or no? Just straight up
wait, stumble upon what?
like civilization, or is it just straight
No,
up
it's just
only
like if you were
desert?
just to survive.
So you-
Like if you were
So
just
which
get
one
lost,
would you like last the least in?
like
is
just
that what
hard
you're
to survive.
asking?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say the desert. Yeah,
Because there's nothing there.
yeah. Like you
I
can
mean,
maybe
you could find
maybe
water,
some like
rare water.
lizards or something. Maybe like a dead camel.
Well, the thing is,
you could find stuff like that.
with
but it's-
survival though, water is key. In a
Yeah.
place where there's no
But I don't
water.
know. Bear Grylls did do an episode in the desert, and like he found a dead camel, and each trip just kind of like got inside of it, took its guts out, and slept in it.
You know, but you
Because
know
it gets
they,
really cold.
You know they had to put that camel there.
Dude,
You know the behind the scenes sneak video, dude. They just like
Bear
murking a
Grylls,
camel,
yeah.
and just sleeping.
like,
in it.
I see a wild camel.
You see Bear Grylls just
just
arguing
sneaking
with the
in.
director, saving that damn camel. You dumb,
You wild,
bro. You gotta do this. It's for the concept. Fuck.
I'll give you I'll give you $100 steak after
Bro, if you
this.
do, yeah.
All right, I guess. Yeah, the scenes again. Just do it.
But, like surviving in the ocean is probably.
No, yeah, but
that's
he
hard
probably
to-
didn't like. That was his stuff he enjoyed. You know, like survival.
Yeah, he loved it.
Like surviving, that was his hobby, something he enjoyed. So cutting up that camel, like taking the guts out, like he probably did survive like over the night. You know, he probably did, and like he filmed it. But like, I think some stuff was staged to like be a little bit more dramatic. I think that's what it was. But I think the stuff he did, I think it was real. You know?
And you said about the ocean. Do you are you saying with the ocean, like if you're just like directly in the middle of the ocean, like no float, just try to survive in the middle of the Pacific?
No, yeah, you'd be dead.
Oh, yeah,
no, but if you had like a float.
Like Titanic, like cabinet.
So, like let's say like in the desert you had like 1 cup of water, and then nothing, just straight up just like your shirt, pant, and shorts. Same thing, water. You're just floating. Nothing else on a raft with nothing in it. So like I think the desert will kill you first.
No, I think so.
I know, because the water. Yeah, the heat would be a problem, but like in the desert, you technically could find stuff that could like help you survive. They do have life.
Yeah.
Water, you have to like go in the water to like get anything.
Go
And if you
fishing.
lose that
If you
raft,
ain't got no-
you lose that raft, you dead.
Yeah, that would just be
And you
fun.
have nothing to fish with.
I would,
either.
but yeah, I think I would much rather be stuck in the middle of the desert than being stuck in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
scary.
scary.
Yeah, I
Run
think
into, like,
I think you
storms.
Yeah, I think you die quicker in the ocean, honestly. At the end of the day, because like the only thing that I'm thinking of that you could maybe eat is a bird. If it lands on your raft, you could somehow grab it and eat it. That's the only thing you'd be able to.
Unbroken.
Yeah.
Where they freaking caught a bird.
Yeah. Sketchy.
But I hear stories about like people actually surviving these kinds
No,
of
not too
situations.
long ago, some kid, I think he was lost for 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
He was on,
in
he
the
was like
ocean?
fishing or something, and then like the wind kind of like took his like draft, or like it was. They were in some poor countries, so it was, you know, like a kind of like a makeshift raft, and it kind of like split, and then the part that he had the motor just kind of.
Dude, I would have jumped.
So he was drifted for like 3 weeks.
I would have jumped.
He said no. He jumped like when he saw the ship, because I think he said like multiple ships passed him. So when he saw this one, he said it was close enough to where he just jumped and swam towards it, bro. He swam towards the ship, and luckily they were able to get him. So, but no, yeah, stuff like this happens all the time.
And you
Even
know,
nowadays, it's scary. Like that's how scary the ocean is.
And I feel like that's also like you probably could get through all that kind of like survival. Like if you have survival environment, I feel like a lot of it is based off skill. Like you can't just luckily. I mean, you probably could, but you kind of have to have some sense of, like some survival skill. You know.
What?
Like if you were to be stranded on an island, or if you like, because like you could be stranded on an island and just like try to mess with luck and wait for a boat.
Yeah.
But for you, if you were skilled enough, if you had kind of some sort of knowledge, you'd like burn a tire or like write SOS. You can't just off like, cause you'll die out there. Like that kid must have done something to survive. You can't just been floating on a boat forever. He had swimming skills, which helped him. That's key.
That is true.
That's key.
Like someone who can't swim, like what are they gonna do?
Exactly.
Someone who doesn't know, like if you get caught in a current, or something.
Yeah, you don't
You
swim
just
side.
swim with it. Swim with the current.
People, why do
Or you just let it take you, like, cause swimming against it, you're gonna waste energy.
No, you
and
swim to the side.
Huh?
You swim to the side.
Yeah, you try to swim diagonally, but it's gonna take you for a while, bro.
Yeah, you have to be a good swimmer, right?
Like, yeah, my dad has been caught in one, and he said it took him out for, I think, like 2 miles. And he had to swim back. Yeah,
Oh
the
my
current took him out.
God.
Because you can't, like, even if you try to swim out, it's still like a current, like, it holds you and it takes you with, you know?
Yeah.
Like, no matter which way you swim, it's just pushing you a certain way. So, like, you don't really get, you just have to let it take you.
But I am absolutely like shocked when people who just like take on like just like nature, like people who just like, oh, stingray,
Yeah.
let me grab that.
That's
Isaac's
thinking
man.
about my dad. He's just that type of person.
Dude, I was like, chill, bro. I was like, they took our boy, freaking, what's his name, Iron, the Australian guy. Yeah, who got killed by a stingray.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They be taking
Rest in
people.
peace, him.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, there's people who deal with venomous snakes. Those people are badass. I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Because they probably get bit every day, but
And
they have like stuff to.
Yeah,
like,
they
so
use
scary.
build an immune system. There's a person that I don't know. It might have been somebody who studied like medicine, but he injected himself with like snake venom for like 15 years, and he was immune to most of venom. So that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those people who deal with snakes, dude, snakes be scary.
Yeah.
Bro. Like especially
Now, snakes-
anacondas, bro.
Snakes aren't like the biggest concern to me, but now I'm thinking about them. Now I'm thinking one's gonna pop out of these like woods and just like you
Dude,
finish his run.
Oh,
like,
dude, imagine if you just swimming in like a pond, you know, what would be at?
36.
That's not bad. It might be cut short, maybe not. We don't know. I have.
Wait,
I
what
have
time is it? Yeah, that's Ooh, James.
What time is it?
It's about to be 3.
No, it's fine. That's good.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, we'll go for another 20 minutes. It's fine.
20 minutes? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's like imagine if you were just swimming in a pond, maybe a lake, and underneath some rocks is like a python. You know how much teeth those things have? Imagine.
Yeah, that'd be some scary stuff.
You know what freaked me out when I was a kid? So we used to live in Okinawa, Japan, and we used to go to the beach. And on every rock, like every huge rock, you saw an eel in it. Oh, dude, I could not. I was like, bro, chill. You know, because the thing is like, what we used to do was like, to get to a certain like area is like, you step on these rocks. It's like a little, you know, like big rock or some kind of island in the middle of like, you know, this ocean. And you hop on rock, but some rocks have eels. So I'm like, frick, dude. I was like, nah, bro.
Like step on one, the eel like comes out.
Dude, I would honestly just kill myself.
Yeah, the eel. I was watching this video and this guy comes like messing with his eel that was on the sand. And like smacked it, right? And he's like, and then he smacked it again. His whole body instantly like just like shook, like stiffed up, and he just like fell. And he just fell to the ground. I was like, bro, that's funny. You suck.
Dude, freaking.
Those things will mess you up.
Was it sea snakes? Sea snakes are scary, bro. Yeah. Their tails are like fins.
Really?
Yeah. Like, well, it's not fin. It's like it's flat.
Yeah.
Instead of pointed, it turns.
So they
flat.
can like.
Yeah. And it's, you know, they like that's so cool, like how they adapt to that kind of.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I love. They just like.
That's the thing. I feel like if we were able to like unlock a little bit more of our brain, our body would be able to advance a bit faster.
Yeah.
And so like how that guy how it took him like 15 years to be like immune to like, what if everyone just like every year injected like a little bit of like, or every week inject a little bit of venom into their body, and like maybe in like 2 years, because of how advanced the brain is. You're immune to just any like.
Do you also think like if he dies, like you could take his like DNA and like make it into where you could make
maybe,
it
I don't know.
Because that's possible.
Because they did something with this like woman. She had certain like blood cells in her vagina. Sorry for the youngsters, but she had this like cancer tumor in her vagina, but like the cells from it, they were able to like replicate, and like they took her skin without like her, or like they took her DNA without her permission, but this did end up saving like thousands of lives, and like they've made like millions off her DNA, and they've made millions of dollars off it, but like the family didn't get any money from it until like later on they like made a book and like they went to court and all this, but like the woman's dead now. This is like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Her husband was her cousin or her brother or something like that. I don't know. They had a bunch of kids, but like no, yeah, she's had this tumor, and like it just like can it can cure certain cancers. So.
Oh wow. That is crazy. Yeah. I would honestly totally, like, screw a funeral. I think when I die, I don't want it to be a celebration of, like, death. I kind of want it to be a more positive section, and for that reason, is, like, because I want my body to be donated to science.
Yeah.
it's like, cause how I see my body, we're just, you know, we're just gonna rot. We're just rot.
My soul leaving anyways, bro. I don't need this body no more.
Exactly.
I'm out.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's like
do whatever you want with
this. How I see myself is like, if I'm gonna just be in the ground rotting, I might
what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. My body could just been
when you can help advance, you know, the next generation.
Yeah, exactly. Because I might have something. Because I might have something that, you know, like nobody has.
Like, what did you say? You used to have the like only functioning 20-inch penis, huh? They gotta know. They gotta know what the science behind it is, bro. Everybody be wanting to know, so I'm gonna let them know, bro.
Yeah, especially like when we get advanced technology and everybody has Joe Rogan and
the other carpet dicks.
Yeah, we're gonna have rolled up carpet dicks. That's, you know how back then humans were whenever we discovered, like, there was a story where we discovered there were like regularly like 7 foot like humans, like, you know, ancient humans that used to roam around. Like, they're gonna dig up our bodies one day. Yeah. And the dudes are gonna have rolled up carpet dicks. Yeah. You know, like, it's gonna be crazy.
Dude, I don't know what it was. It was the sociology teacher. She showed us this video, and it was the weirdest thing. It was this animal. I can't remember what the animal was, but like their penises are super weird. So like they're like, so they're like little. Think of. It's like little, you know, the like tip of a balloon, right? Imagine that, but rather than like just a tip, imagine it like super long, right? Imagine it like this. Maybe like.
Was it a sea animal?
Huh?
Was it a sea animal? Because there's like, I think it was a species of whale who has like the largest like.
No, it's not that. It's not like, but compared to his body, it was like a small animal. It was a small animal. It was pretty small.
Oh my gosh.
But I think it was like this plastic, or like this rubber, or this balloon type texture looking thing. It was super long, maybe like 2 feet.
Why were you guys watching?
2 feet. And what it does, right? It crumble up, you know, like into like, if you want to like fold it up into like a carpet, like you technically could. But what it does, it like just gets, it gets his boner like super quick. So the whole thing stiffs up, right? And it just gets hard. But it's like super long.
What about like the female parts? How's the female part?
So the female's kind of like the same thing, right? It's like the tube, but it's like super long. But like, so this, I wish I could remember the animal, but the like the dudes like try to have sex with the women, even if the woman doesn't want it. It's like the women have built so where their vagina can close, so the other dudes can't get in there. Yeah, it's super weird.
What?
But like if they get it in there, they just kind of like shove it in there and just like open it up.
Wow,
it's super weird. I gotta figure out what this animal is.
Why were you guys watching it? What got me?
It's something. It may be like something like, I don't know, something small, something weirdly.
No,
small.
but like, how did you guys get to that topic? How'd you watch
I wish I could tell you. I thought that would be going on in
class. Wait, what
class
was it?
Huh? I think it was sociology.
Oh, she does the most interesting videos like in the first class. Yep, that's why. So she does this. This professor I used to have with Isaac has
block her name out.
For privacy, okay, whatever. Yeah, so we had this professor. I said her name before, but yes, it's gonna be blanked out for safety reasons. And yeah, she does this thing at the beginning of class. She shows like the most interesting videos a day. Like sometimes silly,
was
sometimes
like different, like interesting animals, and this was one of them in the list. And it was this weird small animal with this weird penis. I wish I could remember what animal it was, bro. That's so weird. Like, what's up with that?
That is crazy. There's just so many.
I told you, nature. Like, just be having stuff like that. Be having animals with rolled up carpet dicks.
There's so many things about like this planet we just don't know.
And it's there. Well, we just don't know about it because we don't.
Yeah, because it's there.
Study about it.
You just honestly just have to just watch documentaries, read books, because it's out there.
We just pass time, or we just pass through everything
without
realizing, like looking into.
Yeah, without acknowledging the fact that this planet is huge. It's gorgeous. It's
There's other like life around you that's just like.
Yeah, bro.
And this piece of grass, bro.
Screw space science, bro. I'm gonna study this.
Man, I hate this planet. I'm gonna leave it, bro. I don't care.
What planet? What's your favorite planet? Like, if you choose, if you could live on any planet, like you could have a civilization. Jupiter, the biggest planet. That'd be pretty dope. There's a whole storm in there, though.
Yeah, bro. But you said I could live in it, bro. Shut up, bro.
Yeah, Jupiter's pretty cool. Saturn's cool though. With the rings, I never really understood that. Is that like why is that perfect?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
You're the science guy.
I'm just you right. I forgot.
No, you do watch.
So let me tell you how I invented Saturn. Oh, what is it? Dude, yeah, we want to make this skit, right? And it was like, it started off with like us saying like, oh, that's mine, right? And then the next person would be like, oh, well, like, let's say like, oh, that's my house. Be like, oh, that's your house? Well, the land that house is on is mine.
Yeah,
like,
we just kind of try one of each other. How
yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, that land is yours? Oh, well, that country that land is in, it's mine. Like, oh, that planet? Yeah, stuff like that.
We're just dumb.
Yeah,
Dude,
but we want to make a skit. I think it'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, making skits. We never made a skit, but how I see skits, it seems like you have a lot of fun making it.
And yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things, because I get to learn to do stuff like the hologram stuff, you know, like the neon lights, with the portal. Stuff like that, it interests me because like I can make a story,
Yeah, Isaac's into editing, and so he's like tries to make up all these effects. They're pretty decent. They're pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
I just gotta take more time to do them,
Yeah.
Practice it a little.
But yeah, we talked about theater on our last podcast, or previous podcast. But I know like it's fun. It's fun. I've had theater class in high school. I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I like watching plays.
I used to be in plays when my anxiety was so bad. I was just a full-blown emo loser, So I just did what I did, where I fit in.
Yeah, but I can't wait to start doing skits. We have a lot of ideas. We just haven't been writing them down, which is really terrible for us.
Yeah.
But we promise you guys we will bring you guys that kind of content. And I wish skits were as good as they were back then. I want to say.
Yeah, kind of.
But I can't really say that because I don't watch skits as much as I used to.
But I miss like Smosh skits. Like their skits were dope.
Wasabi Production before.
Higaniga.
Yeah, Higaniga was the best.
Yeah. Skits like that, they were always. I always enjoyed those when I was little. I guess our generation is different now.
You guys know John. We had him here in the podcast before. They do skits.
Yeah.
Check out the channel.
Yeah, check out
the Pinky Out Gang.
Pinky Out Gang channel. They play games on there. They do skits. They have this whole show called The Gang.
Oh, actually, he invited us to be in one of his main episodes, his main characters.
Episode 3 that's coming out, we're gonna be some homeless people.
Don't tell. You can't. Don't spoil it for them, bro.
Oh, yeah. But sneak peek into it, we're gonna be homeless.
That's gonna be cool.
But yeah, but you're gonna see us in another episode, which is gonna be fun. I really do like what they're doing. Like they're creating pretty much a little show in a small town. And I know John loves acting. He loves that type of stuff. He loves editing. He loves that lifestyle. So I'm really glad he is trying to do something, even though he's in a small town. And I hope,
like us.
I know it's gonna get big, and I'm gonna be happy for him. We're all gonna be doing our own thing.
What I enjoy a lot is that our group of friendship, our group of friends we're all basically trying to build a name for ourselves.
Yeah, and
just through music, making content, podcasts.
And I'm glad we do have our friends like that, and like some, the ones that all just support everything,
Because it comes a long way with like having the same mindset.
Yeah, it really does.
Friends,
I've realized that lately. Like nowadays, like before, whenever like our friends came out with like new music, I never shouted it out, because I would never did that. But like now it's just like we all just trying to help each other, bro. I'm gonna put you on my story.
Even if I don't like it personally, like if you need if you shout
we all grinding,
Yeah.
Because
I don't expect you to like every one of my videos, but it would help a lot if you could just shout
If you could just watch them, shout it out, get your friends to watch it, Because if you're doing it, I'm gonna do it for you. It's just like we all trying to get big. Like why we gotta work against each other? Let's work together. Let's all get big.
Advertise yourself.
Yeah, we all grew up together anyway. Well, most people.
I would call them. I've
grown up with them.
Like basically, I learned to like my personality comes from being around my friends. Like 90% of my personality, how I act, how I do things, come from my friends. How I think about things.
Because who you hang out with every day.
And I wouldn't want to say it's just how I think of it. It's just kind of. It's not that like they give me opinions and that's how I take it. It's just the fact that they make me think a different way, and it kind of it helps me. It kind of helped me build myself to become me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to say like we're all the same. It's just we had all different visions on different things. We argue, you learn, you kind of build a personality to the things they do and how it affects you personally.
Yeah.
And how I see that it's actually the science. And I learned sociology from the same teacher called the symbolic interactions theorist or theory. Yeah, the symbolic. Symbolic theory. Something like that. it's something like that. But what it is it's a theory that what a meaning to you is not a meaning to me. So like say if you're sitting under a tree, right? And for a tree, I'm like, hey, why are you sitting under that tree, right? Well, on that tree, what you get from sitting under that tree is shade, is you know, like a sign of peace, you know. And say, you know, I'm like, okay, let me try that. But I sit on a different tree, and in that tree lies fire ants, and I get bit by a tree. You know, I got bit by you know, like ants, and like, you know, just didn't have a good time. Apple fell on my head.
It's like, so like sitting under a tree is different for everyone.
Exactly.
It's like how everything is different.
Exactly, and that's kind of how
it's like the same experience.
And you know, so I come up to you, I'm like, yo, why are you sitting under that tree? And you know, I was like, yeah, there's fire ants on there, but to you, you never got bit by fire ants, and that those two symbols are, you know, are how you kind of
two different people seeing the same thing,
but differently. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing, like me sitting here, like I dread every moment. You're probably enjoying it because I'm the best.
Yeah.
So something like
one
that.
thing we do stay away from in our friendship is religion and politics.
That's a lie, dude. We talk about it so much. We talk about it a lot. We just try not to talk about it on here, you know.
Yeah.
Because like we ain't trying to get like skalooped on by everybody. But no, yeah, we talk about it a lot.
But even it's not that we're afraid to say what
topics to talk about. Actually,
it's not the fact that it's one of our favorite things. I mean, it's one of our. It's not that, you know, we're like not trying to like talk about it. Like, we don't mind talking about it. It's just we try to stay away from it because it'll just carry on forever. Like, you would just have a whole podcast of us just going.
Yeah, no, you could have 50 podcasts with us talking about it.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's you could go on forever with religion and politics. And we try to stay away from it because it'll just take up too much time.
Yeah, one day we might just do.
Yeah.
Podcast just talking about it because we probably could for like an hour, maybe probably longer than that.
Yeah, but
that's for another day.
For sure.
That's for another day.
Should we end it? This is it.
Yeah.
This is the end of it. Ah, dude,
this was honestly super fun.
It was super fun. I love.
Yeah.
I want to tell you guys.
I enjoyed it a lot more.
Let me tell you guys.
Than I hoped I would. So.
Even though like I don't see you guys commenting, I know we get views, and I want you guys to know that, you know, like.
If you are watching till the end.
Yeah, I love doing these podcasts. Like I love what my life has come to ever since I started trying to make a name for ourselves. Like it's a great feeling. I told Isaac and my family this not too long ago, but like ever since I started this is the happiest I've ever been. You know, I don't know if it's just because, you know, it's right now, but it's just I feel good about life. And I want to keep going. Like this isn't gonna stop me from, like, you know, making content. There's nothing that can stop me from, you know, doing what
being the best out of all time. LeBron, I'm coming for you.
Exactly.
Elon Musk, I'm also coming for you.
I have such a big list of
Tom Brady, he's done for. Everything. I'm good at Michael Phelps. Nope, you ain't got nothing.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, nothing compared to
Elon Musk. I want to make you my enemy,
but I can't because I love you too much.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on social media. We're gonna have our friend
share videos.
Yeah, for sure.
Screenshot it, put it on your story.
Yeah,
and be like, yo, these two dope islanders with big schlongs have seen dope videos. So,
these rolled up carpet dudes. But I hope you guys like this location.
Yeah, we're gonna
hopefully next episode, you'll see us in a different location.
Yeah. We have some dope locations we're thinking of, so stay tuned for those.
For sure. But again, thank you for staying to the end. I'm James.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Filipino.
And I'm Puerto Rican.
And this has come to the end of Conversations from Above. We'll see you guys later.